We're rolling.
Welcome back, everyone. Episode 78 of the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast.
Wow.
Today's guest is Junny Ocasio.
Sure is.
All right. My name is Milton Campus. I'm a brown belt training out of South Florida. Bo behind the camera.
Hey, Bo.
Look who decided to show up today.
I was on a vacation.
Yeah.
I was kayaking.
The week.
There's
and
dolphins.
What the week before? Oh, well, it was a Saturday podcast. And then
I went back in time, sir.
Dolphins?
There was dolphins.
For
real. There was
so
for
real.
Go? I went to Pine Island, which is an island off of like Fort Myers. Like you got to take all the bridges. It is a time warp, man. It was awesome. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really quiet. We stayed at a KOA, had a cabin.
K-O-A.
That's like Campgrounds of America.
Okay.
And they're all over. Usually you have to have like a camper or like an RV to stay at one, but some of them have like campsites where you could like, pitch a tent or whatever. And then this particular one had cabins.
Okay.
So we got
pitch a tent.
Pitch a tent. What's up?
All right, guys. Support for the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast is brought to you by MANSCAPED, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. MANSCAPED offers precision-engineered tools for the family jewels. MANSCAPED recently launched the ultimate men's hygiene bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust MANSCAPED with this exclusive offer just for you guys, just for our listeners. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with code JJD at manscaped.com. Now, you haven't been around.
Nope.
You haven't been around. I did my review.
You did?
I did talk about the lawnmower.
Okay.
And then actually the weed whacker. I actually used the weed whacker again today.
I used it.
So tell me what you thought.
I took more than 20% off.
Yeah.
Took 100% off. Yeah. No, it was really.
Are you a normal manscaper under normal circumstances?
No, I get forced to do it.
Okay. So you do.
I do it regularly, but it's like come on, it's time. You know, like I do this. Like you gotta
like, hey, what's going on?
I'm more like like the.
Look at that little mushroom.
You remember the forest. You remember the Zohan? You remember that?
No.
You remember the Zohan?
I know the movie, but I don't think I've ever watched the whole thing.
It was all about.
I'm not big on those Adam Sandler movies.
You know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I do it regularly. It was a good experience. I mean, I've had other experiences where I've bought like some over the counter type stuff.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the construction of it, that blade, whatever that material, the top one is, like the white one.
It's a ceramic, right, Bo? You said it's ceramic.
Yeah,
so like it felt different too.
Yeah. It cuts really good.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite use that. It trims.
I'm saying when it cuts really clean. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. So like I've used other ones where like the hair will get like jammed in there and then like it'll you know what I'm saying? It'll pull. That's the word.
Yeah.
I've had that.
So you ever go to the barber and the trimmer stops working? Like he's got to take it all apart.
Yeah.
It's like or you have to tell him like, oh man, it's pulling.
Yeah.
Like
and you know what?
That's my brain.
Underrated thing I think a lot of people don't talk about is the guards. The guards.
Did you see my testimonial?
I did. I saw both of yours.
Yeah.
He tried slipping in a testimonial.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
And
leave it to Bo.
So the guards, man, like they don't slip off. Cause sometimes I've had that where the guard will slip off and it's like, okay, now we're going zero.
Yeah.
Right. But you know what I mean? I don't know how to work a fade.
We're going zero.
We're going zero, boys.
All right. Hope for the best.
So, but I am going to say that I did get a little bit overzealous. And my wife like walked in and I was like, what do you think? And she's like, are you getting ready for surgery? Like, what's going on? Because it was such a good experience that I just kind of like kept going. I just was like, what else can this thing do?
You shaved other parts of your body?
Dude, if a cat would have walked into the back, I would have just started shaving the cat because I was having a good time. And then the lotion's legit.
Yeah.
I like the way it smells.
Yeah.
It smells like if Axe wasn't an asshole. Like, you know what I mean? Like his cool brother.
Crop preserver.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I'm using this every day.
I like that one. I like the way it smells. I even do the credit card swipe and I'm like, I give the old salute.
I missed you, brother.
You know what I mean?
I missed you.
You know, you do the salute. You're like,
no. The smell?
Yeah.
Oh,
you see
God.
where you're at?
Oh boy! I would definitely, if parents are listening, they're not letting their kids listen to this podcast anymore.
That's what this is about.
No, I know.
That's what it's
We're
about.
starting it
Because
off kind of raw.
otherwise,
No, it's good. I love it.
otherwise it smells like sweet and sour pork.
Maybe you got the
I'm sorry,
Asian-
Manscaped.
you
We
got
went.
the-
We went.
You got the Asian
Went off the
flair.
rails.
You got the Asian. I don't know what I got. I got
the credit cards. I was like, what did you? I
Credit
thought you
card
meant
swipe?
you were like putting the lotion in.
no. When you
No,
do the
now I
checks,
got it,
you do
yeah.
the wagata, and you're like, you sniff it, and then you salute it off. And
pass
it worked.
it on to friends.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know her. No, I'm joking. And I did the nose thing with what's it called? The lawnmower weed whacker.
The weed whacker.
I've never used one of those before.
Neither have I.
And I've only seen like cartoons and like sitcoms, and they've always been scary to me because that's what the mainstream media has brainwashed me to believe. I was very hesitant.
It's like perfect. Nothing pulls, right?
I thought that thing was gonna fuck me up.
So today I
didn't.
actually did. So, all right. So I've used this more than I don't need the
It
lawnmower
doesn't grow
every week,
fast.
right? Yeah.
I
So
got you. Yeah.
I used the weed whacker again today when I shave.
Uh-huh.
I'm using it when I shave now. So if I shave, I also do the nose
You're getting in there.
and love it. Doesn't pull. And then I actually try because I've never done this before. I like buzz. Like if I get any little hairs on the outside of my ears, I'll buzz. But I was just like, let me see. Zzz, in my ear.
Yeah.
Like I've never really gone in. So
Yeah.
but I could hear it. Like get some of the.
And
I don't have. I'm not a hairy guy.
we have to find.
I got some hairs, and
Yeah.
that's the first time I did that.
We got to find like
his,
an old.
his leg was going like this when he was doing it in the ear.
Nobody could see that,
I
but
know.
he's doing the dog
the
motion.
dog leg thing. We got to find like an old jujitsu guy that's got like cauliflower ear,
Oh, okay.
and then like shove that thing in there. And
Ooh,
see.
no way. We were talking
Yeah,
last time about
the nose
like
glacier.
the guys that have like you. I'm new to the beard game. I've only really
Yeah.
been doing this the last couple of years. But like sometimes guys have the beard and like the nose hairs are growing. Like
It
almost
grows
like a
into
walrus.
it. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it just grow. And but
It's,
like that's I guess that's not that. Not I guess that's not fucking normal. It's actually disgusting.
That's a
Yeah.
nose glacier.
And like this is, I don't know why guys. That's usually old timers or whatever.
Yeah.
They let it grow out. I think that's nasty. But this is like, when I shave here, I usually get in here and I'll clip a little bit
Yeah.
off, and then there I got some hairs, and I'll use the same buzzer, but not anymore.
Yeah. So me and my wife, we kiss with our eyes open, and so just look at each other, and
Check how closely shaven you are.
yeah. So she's called me out on a couple long ones,
Yeah.
and I listened to yours with the pulling thing.
Yeah.
I've never gotten like the ingrown hairs or anything like that, but it does hurt like really bad. I tear up. It gets me going. It's like watching. You ever watch the movie The Blind
Oh,
Side?
well, if you pull.
Yeah. You ever watch The Blind Side with
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
Like, don't call me Big Mike. Like, if you pull one of those, it's like watching that movie. You're just crying the whole damn time.
All right. Let's
It's connected. It's connected directly to a tear duct.
listen.
In all, a good experience.
All right. That's awesome. So everybody get 20% off and free shipping with code JJD at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off with free shipping. It's free worldwide shipping at manscaped.com and use code JJD. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. I screwed that up because I was going to say the right tools for the family jewels. That was last episode.
Can I
Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Can I just add one more thing?
Go ahead.
I think there's a performance advantage if you just trim your legs
Ooh.
for no gi
Oh, okay.
and arms.
Slippery, more slippery.
More slippery.
Oh man, so who was just talking about this? Was that me and you talking about the? No, I was talking to somebody about the hairy being. Was it just you today? We were talking about the hair, like rub it, like somebody's hair. Oh
No, that
Sean.
wasn't me.
I was talking to Sean from Flow and Roll.
I know him.
We're talking about the rash guard we're doing, and I said I want it short sleeve, and he's like, hey, listen, more people buy the long sleeve. He's like, especially the kids, and I'm like, I really like it. He's like, he started telling me about like he covers up completely when he does no gi because he's hairy, and he's like, I know I don't like it when it's like hairy, things on,
I do the
hairy
same.
rubbing on my face and all that. And I was just like, oh, I don't think about that because I'm like, I'm not hairy. I don't.
You are.
me.
You're blessed. Yeah,
I'm
you're
like a
blessed.
hairless
Yeah.
cat. Like this is.
You're good. You're good. Yeah.
So I don't really worry about it. But the other day at training, I did get some like hair in the face, and I was just like, fucking hate that. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was Ray. It might have been Ray.
Body pubes.
Love you, Ray.
Oh, Ray's hairy though.
Right, but like something. I think we were doing like back takes, so we were doing like put your face on the cheek. You really get. He wasn't letting us get away with. Do the back take, but do the back take, and you put your cheek on their cheek. Yeah, and I think I was getting the.
He's
hair,
a perfectionist.
I fucking hate that.
Dude, he's so hairy. I think I'm thinning a little bit, and I rolled with him, and it started growing back.
He's so hairy. He left
like my hair follicles.
He's so hairy.
Ray's a listener now, so he's gonna hear that.
I love you, Ray.
He's so hairy, he's contagious.
Yeah, his hairiness. He's so Italian.
We got to get him a Manscaped. All right, we are also sponsored by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business, website, Google Ads, graphic design, we can help. Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or our website at bbdigitalmarketing.com. I say we because I own the company. Yeah. I wasn't saying that in the beginning. I don't know why. I wasn't trying to hide it, but I was saying, I'm reading it like I'm not the sponsor. I'm the sponsor. We do most of the like post-production and post-production, excuse me. Bo does the post-production, but like the advertising and the posting it online. Yeah. All that stuff we do on this end. Request a free online review of your online presence right there on our homepage. Again, bbdigitalmarketing.com. You were going to say something?
I was just going to say, I'm glad you're airing it out. You're letting people know.
It was never like I was hiding it.
I think maybe you're being modest. I think that's what it was.
I don't know. I don't know if maybe there was a little part of me like, I don't want to tell everybody I do it. And then it's like, no, it's a sponsor. Like they literally do, everything for the show.
You're a multifaceted individual.
Besides the video side, we do the marketing.
That's what got you to the dance.
Absolutely. All right, I'll stop being modest then.
There's a dance?
Shout out to Neutral Zone. What were we saying about the name before?
I was saying I love the name.
Okay.
Because it's like, I don't know, I guess maybe I thought about it. I was thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And it's like you're in the neutral zone. And the first thing that I thought about, and you could probably relate, neutral to me means, stick shift, man. Like you're in the neutral zone.
Oh, I thought you were doing something else, bro.
Come on. No, we're not doing Manscaped anymore.
For a second, I was just like, what? Why does he go side to side like that?
That's strange.
Anyway,
I rotate.
But you weren't even going like this. You were going this way.
Well, because you don't drive stick shift like this. You drive stick shift like this.
Okay.
And if you're Japanese, you drive stick shift.
I drive stick shift, dude. I wish I could show it on camera. I drive it like this.
Short throw? Short throw?
I do the little.
Did you see that bus driver? Like the video?
Yeah, I love that one.
That went viral.
The pink, yeah.
But go ahead, finish neutral zone.
I like the neutral zone because it's a thoughtful name that kind of goes over your head. It's like you're in this zone where you're not over it or under it. You're where you need.
Bringing you back down.
You're where you need. No, or it's bringing you back up. You don't know. It's bringing you where you need to be. Zero. It's a base.
So full disclosure, you haven't tried anything yet.
Nope.
Because you haven't been around. Did the unboxing. You haven't been here. You could take all of that.
Yeah.
And start, trying and give us some feedback. I think we actually got other stuff. There are pads, face masks for the wife if you want.
Got it.
So you're going to take all this stuff home and then you're going to start telling us about it. There's the nighttime there. There's the citrus is. I'm going with that combo day and night. But I take the melatonin religiously now every night.
Yeah.
But you got the roll-ons. You got the rubs. You got the lotion. Which one is this?
That looks like.
I don't even think I've used this one yet.
Is this like Tiger Balm?
Open that up.
I smelled it. I think
so. Yeah.
That's why you're like, why is it not pointing?
I've been. I was telling
muscle rub.
I'm using it as I need it. So like I'm not just going to put on like 5 things. Like I'm using them as I need them and or things I'm familiar with.
This smells like something my mom bought in a different country that doesn't have a label on it. That I don't know. It hits a memory chord with me.
Yes.
Doesn't that smell like something like your Hispanic mom rubs on you when you're sick?
Oh, you're talking about like vapor rub,
like Vigvaporu, pero.
I don't know what that means, but yeah,
that's how Hispanics say Vicks vapor.
So
rub.
Look, Neutral Zone is a plant-based. Hold on, guys. Neutral Zone is a plant-based wellness brand that was made to help those with the wellness uses of plant-based and hemp products.
Yeah, look.
All right. So no matter if you're in the gym or on the mat or a pet owner, again, they have Neutral Zone has a pet line. A line for women. There's makeup there, and then we're doing the sports recovery products.
Yeah,
but they have something for everyone. Okay, so find your neutral zone.
Yeah, find your neutral
zone. There it is. Find the strength and best product for pain, wellness, and let you continue. That'll let you continue your active life. So find the right combination. I feel like I found the right combination with. I'm sleeping better because of the melatonin. The melatonin.
Right.
Got my little injury back. in the gut.
The groin?
Well, not the groin isn't hurting me, but
Okay.
the pain under
Lower abdominals.
under my belly button, above my dingling.
Time to start working that
I've
Zoas
actually
again.
I've been using some of them there, but I'm using them. But I found like the right combination is actually letting me sleep, because the worst time is sleeping, and then you go to move and you're like so you got to kind of like stay. But I've actually used this guy last night.
The roll-on?
The roll-on. I was a little nervous because I'm getting a little low.
Yeah.
It was fucking perfect.
Full
It
spectrum.
was so good. So I've been using, right now, that's my combo.
None of these have THC, right?
No, everything is 100% THC free. The owner, Mike, actually tests himself.
I saw that on his
and
Instagram.
post it. So that, that's one of the things that they guarantee.
Hey.
Yeah.
The dude's got some good talks about the jiu-jitsu community. I like
Oh,
talk.
yeah. I saw you in the comments. You were inviting him on and everything.
Let's
You were
go.
like, tell him, let's come on and
I
let's
don't
talk.
ever do that. I always say talk to Britt. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I always
no.
direct that
Yeah.
way. This time I olive branch.
So they have products to help with all facets of your active lifestyle, general wellness, pain, sleep. Again, stuff that I'm using it for.
Mm-hmm.
They offer products for everyone. You know, they're focusing on the gym, athlete, cosmetics, and pet products. So again, everything is there. Check them out at neutralzonecbd.com. Again, code JJD.
Yep.
Got it everywhere, right? For 25% off. You go to the website, I believe it's like 22% off for 2022.
Yep.
We got 25% off for our listeners, all right? You can find them on Instagram at myneutralzone, and then, neutralzonecbd.com, and then at myneutralzone on Instagram. We're going to be doing some giveaways with them.
Let's do it.
All right. That's kind of the next. We just finished the BJJ box giveaway. We're going to be doing some giveaways with them. And we're also going to do something I was going to mention in just a little bit, but I guess I could say it now. All these sponsors that we're talking about, as it relates to products, if you message us through Instagram, is probably the best way to do it. If you message us your receipt, right, your online receipt, don't send me a credit card number, usually redacted in your receipt anyway.
Yeah.
Send us a receipt. Let us know that you used our coupon code. Should be there somewhere. Hopefully you see it, but send us a receipt after they started working with us, not from 2 years ago when you did your BJJ box subscription. Okay. Thank you for ordering from them, but not you. New orders going forward. We're going to do a raffle of what we give away to the guests typically, which is that swag bag of t-shirt, coffee mug, keychain.
Swag bag.
I think we're going to try to do the rash guard, the new rash guard, but we'll still send them our old rash guard, but hopefully the new one from Flow and Roll. So we're going to send them a bunch of stuff that we normally give to our guests.
Giveaway package.
And we're going to do one. So send us those, and then we're going to put them in a hat and then basically do a raffle.
Yeah.
We're going to choose one winner probably every 2 months. So that's 8 podcasts.
Yeah.
So the first one we're going to actually do, because I want to do one soon, is you've got till May 11th to order from BJJ Box, from Neutral Zone,
Yep.
from Flow and Roll.
Yep.
Right. Those are the 3. And then Manscaped as well.
Yeah.
Right. So those are 4 sponsors. Yeah. I was like, 4. But some of the other sponsors, okay, great if you use them, but there's no receipt, essentially, online order. So our online company. So those 4. Excuse me. Damn. Sorry. DD214 as well.
Okay.
Right. So that's another one. So 5.
Yeah.
And then Hernandez Claims, Feito,
AD.
Black Belt.
Yeah.
Right. There's 8 total. So those 3 no. So those 5, and you'll hear all the sponsors. You'll know when we put out the coupon code. That's an online purchase that you can make. Send us a snapshot of your receipt. We're going to put you into that hat, and we're going to choose a winner. You'll get the same swag bag that we're giving to our guests. All right? Clear enough? Right?
Yeah, that's
I think
pretty
I
good.
said that twice. I probably didn't have to say it twice. All right. Shout out to our friend George Hernandez at Hernandez Claims. He is a public adjuster who can help settle commercial or residential insurance claims on your behalf in both the states of Florida and Texas. All right. Call George Hernandez today and let the professionals help you get the most compensation possible from your insurance company, right? They're going to work on your behalf to get you a big check. Check them out at Hernandez Claims on Instagram, or visit them on their website, hernandezclaims.com. All right. We were just talking about Sean and the crew from Flow and Roll. They're always awesome. We're working on that new Peace Love Jiu Jitsu shirt or rash guard. You were instrumental in the leg locker rash guard?
Yeah.
Was it completely like you're right? I don't want to take anything away from anybody.
No,
like,
I was just kind of like
gave him the idea, and then he.
Oh yeah, I would never take 100% credit like for the design or anything like that. I just
threw out the idea.
Yeah, I was just like, hey man, nobody's ever really done like a leg locker, and I was like, you got a really cool like I like his retro. It's almost like classic tattoo retro type style, and I was like, man, if you do something like that, and then you just do like a locker.
Awesome.
Full of like the legs that you've taken home, you know.
I might be too old to say dope, or what was dope when I was a kid. It's a dope rash guard, and then he did.
I say dope.
Did he put out the
spats and the shorts?
Spats and shorts and gi shorts or the no gi shorts. Yeah. So look, check them out.
Saving up.
Oh, wait, look. So we're always talking about that gear and the stuff that you can buy online, right at flowandroll.com. I love sending people to the Instagram though.
Yep.
Because you can see all the designs, especially. Not just the designs that you can find on the site, but the designs that he does for the gyms. Yeah. And that's really what we like really are trying to feature when we mention him is the work that he does with gyms around the country. It helps them get the gear that they might not otherwise be able to get. You know, like it's real expensive to lay it, like especially opening a new gym.
Right. It's a big expense.
It could be like 10, 15 grand, have gis in every size, belts in every size.
You don't know what you're going to get, right?
Yeah, you know, and then you're giving away a gi every week. Well, he has a teams page. If you go to his menu on his website and you click on the menu, there's a team page.
Yep.
Click on team, and then it's going to show you the drop down of all the gyms around the country. We're on that page as well. It's Jiu Jitsu Dummies. But in that section is where all of the gyms that he's working with, where their students can go online and buy their gear, and the gym doesn't really have to lay out much or any money to get that gear there. Now, he doesn't just ship it out right on the spot, right? It's like for like a pre-order system. So he can get all the orders from the gym, put in the order. It helps the gym save money. He gets the order, it builds his business, right? And then he ships out. But when he ships out, so I know he's putting a keychain in every bag, but if you get a gi, he puts it in a flow and roll bag. So now you got a backpack.
Right.
You get the keychain. We're talking about like what else we could put in there, like from us. But you at least get those things. And he's got stickers and patches and things like that he's put in there in the past. I won't speak for him. But, let's say you ordered a gi and no gi kit, right? It's all going to come in there. It's all nice. Everything's packaged. So everything comes in plastic. Yep. You get the gi in the backpack. So, like, he really goes all out. So now think about it. Like, you're the gym owner. You don't have to touch anything, right? You're not laying out much money, and then you don't have to touch everything, and everything goes right to the student's house. It's perfect. Yeah. He also does like embroidery of like belts and things like that. Like, he's a full service company, and then he has the online store to get, you just want to order an A1 or an A3. Like you could do that as well and just get the flow and roll branding. But that system right there is an incredible way for a gym owner to get what he needs without having to worry about laying out all that money. Yeah. Because it could get really expensive.
You know what I just thought about too?
What?
So like I travel, and I always want to explore a gym if I can. Mm-hmm. It'd be really cool, like since that network is on that website, you could just like support the gym by like, it's like, hey, can I come to your gym?
Hey, and they're like, yeah, sponsor of the
show. then just like I want to buy a rash guard. So like when I show up to your gym, like I'm supporting the gym, I'm supporting Flow and Roll, and I have a rash guard from your gym.
Oh yeah, you could. Well, remember it's pre-order, so like.
I know you say it's got to add up, but I mean, it's like if you catch it right.
But if you were going on vacation next week and they're in a pre-order, you're not going to get it
exactly
before you go there.
I know. I'm just kind of.
But he's also probably done that with those gyms before, and they do have swag there at the gym, so you could go and buy some stuff.
Exactly.
Right. Again, they'll still be able to get their stuff, but it helps them not have to lay out all that money for existing students.
I get it.
You're still going to have to order for that new student that's going to come in. Especially a lot of gyms do it like a free week, free gi, sign up for 6 months. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how they try getting my wife. They just gave her a gi.
But they still have to get that. So they're ordering that.
Yeah.
Your students who have been your students can go online and order the new stuff. Again, you're not laying out all that money for that, but you still get your swag that you need for your shop
or if you decide to go most people when they decide to do competition, they want to get the competition gi instead of the class gi. Yeah.
Got some good stuff going on. I'm not going to drop the big news that I know. I'll let him tell me when we can drop
always so secretive.
Yeah, cuz I never want to.
Is this for the...
I never want to step on somebody else's announcement.
I do.
Or... yeah, like you did with messaging him.
That was exactly where I was going with it.
I didn't tell him that part. But we'll talk about it. We can't talk about it now. All right, so listen, check out Flow and Roll on Instagram. It's at flow_n_roll. And then flowandroll.com. Get
20%
off with code JJD
You always make me
at
nervous
flowandroll.com.
when you do
I
that.
always do what?
You always make me nervous when you do that. When you go, I'm just like, I know it's 20% off.
I want you to.
I tried getting 20% off my drive down here.
DD 14 is 15, so I always like throw that curveball.
Yeah.
But now we do like their commercial plays in the middle of the episode, so we don't read that one. We have that commercial that plays. So, hey, we're also going to welcome BJJ Box, right? Coupon code is JJD and get 10% off your first order. Hopefully we have another box on the way so we can do another unboxing.
More boxes?
So what the heck is the BJJ Box? It's a monthly subscription. Gets delivered right to your front door, filled with cool jiu-jitsu products.
Really cool stuff.
Maybe there's some CBD. Maybe there's like a cookie, a snack, a power bar. Depending on the package you chose, you might get a rash guard. You can get a T-shirt. You got the T-shirt on.
I got the T-shirt.
What does it say? BJJ Guillotine Choke. And then on the arm it says...
box.
You got that?
Yep.
Hey, Bo, you got that on the... right? The BJJ box.
Yep.
Right. Right. So, now he put 2 T-shirts in there because we were sending it to us.
Yeah.
You usually get
It was
one
a special
T-shirt and anywhere from 4 to 7 items. And I think it's always been definitely more than 4 when I've gotten it. I've gotten hats. I've gotten.
Did they know this is my worst submission? Is that why? This is a joke. This is a joke. So I feel bad wearing this shirt. This would be like, this is how me wearing this shirt is like when I see a guy wearing a Ferrari shirt and I know he doesn't drive a Ferrari.
So when that leg locker comes, I've got to work on the game. I'm watching my videos. Got to talk to Drew.
So you feel how I feel about it, right?
I feel like I feel like
I'm
going to wear that. I've got to.
I feel like I got to choke. I'm going to go pick on like a kid. Or
you can't wear. I'm not wearing that leg locker rash guard to Drew's just yet.
Yeah, I've got.
Like I won't go to visit and drop in.
I'm not gonna. I guess I'll toot the horn a little bit. I'm not good at anything, but I'm gonna say that I've gotten some submissions.
Okay.
With legs.
Okay.
Recently,
I've
gotten taps.
I've got a few things that I'm working on that I can threaten with, but I certainly haven't been taught the game that like Drew teaches his guys at a much.
But I'm talking about like a real submission. You know when you get a real submission, right? You get a real submission when the other guy says fuck. That's a real submission.
When he says fuck before he says tap?
Or like right after.
That, okay.
You know what I mean? Like when you really catch them.
Yeah.
And like, fuck. I got a couple.
Dope T.
I like it.
Thank you to Tony over at the BJJ Box. Again, so you're getting 4 to 7 items. You're going to get a package every single month, same time of the month. I think like ships at the end of the month. So you get it like right at the beginning of the following month. So I love it. I've had it before. He's sending it to us now. So we appreciate it, Tony. Thank you so much for hooking us up. You weren't here when I talked about my favorite thing. There's only one of them, but the spiky ball, that little.
You were talking about that when you were for your planner's fasciitis.
Yeah. You're proud of yourself that you remember that it's.
I still can't pronounce that tape that's got the word easy in it, but it's not easy to say.
Kinesiology.
Sure, whatever.
So, but that ball is my favorite thing. The thing that I've actually used, besides wearing the T-shirt, the ball is my favorite thing from there. Just put it on the floor, rub your feet. Like it really digs in there. And then when you stop, you're doing it, and it's like it's spiky. It's a freaking spiky ball. But when you take your foot off of it,
it's good. Yeah. I still got young kids, so I'm stepping on.
You know what I think about when I was using it the first time. Do you remember Bruce Willis, Die Hard?
Yeah.
When he gets off the plane, the guy tells him like from the plane, like when you get to where you're going, take your shoes off and rub your feet in the rug. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm using it, because I feel like that feeling, because I've done that thing with my toes. Like get your feet into the rug and like feels so good. Yeah. It's like somebody giving you like an incredible, like however long you're using it, like a minute massage. It's when you're feeling good, but when you stop,
you're stimulating. Yeah. It's the afterwards. Yeah.
Listen, check them out. It's thebjjbox.com.
That's right.
All right. Check them out on Instagram at thebjjbox.
They got some good content.
And once again, $10 off your first order with code JJD10. All right. thebjjbox.com.
That's right.
Shout out to Britt Tavar, our booking manager and our sponsorship coordinator. Go ahead, Bo.
What's up, Bo?
I was going to say,
Yeah, bring it back to how far are we going back? To which sponsor?
No, you could throw in a hedgehog in the box. That's also really good for your feet. It has a little more conforming.
There we go. He had to get it in there.
The hedgehog.
Had
You
to
were
get
sitting
it
on
in
that
there.
joke. You were sitting on that joke.
Great
weren't you?
pet too.
You were sitting on that. You were like, I'm going to say this.
He
I'm
was
going
shivering.
to say this.
This definitely.
Hedgehog.
It's like Rain Man for fucking puns. definitely a hedgehog.
All right, everybody. Let's do this. Let's get Junny in here.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. Joining us today is Black Belt Junny Ocasio. How you doing, Junny?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing good. I'm doing all right, man.
Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Where you at? You're up in New York, right? You're at Unity?
Yeah. I'm in New York. And New York's much better now, so it's good to be here now.
Yeah. How are things? Does it feel like it's normal again?
It's super normal. I think it's super normal now. I mean, at this point, it's just regular. You know?
Yeah. Did you grow up? I think I saw that you were born in the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
But did you live in the Bronx growing up, or did you live in NPA?
No, so I was born in the Bronx. I lived in New York till I was like 5 or 6. I can't really remember. And then I moved to Pennsylvania during like that time, around 6 years old till like I was about 18 or 19. I always went back and forth with New York because my parents worked in New York, and I had a lot of family in New York. But I grew up in my teens pretty much in the woods, and then I moved back to New York, and then I just never left. And yeah, now it's been like I still have lived more in New York than I have anywhere else. Yeah,
you lived in the burbs in Philly, or in
no, it was East Stroudsburg. It was more like a woods. I mean, it's kind of like a suburbs, but it was like back then it wasn't like the way it is now. I think I visited like once before a while back, and it was like completely different. It was like so modern with like so much things around and everything. Like it was like pitch black in the woods, and like a gas station. Gas station was like a half hour away. I had to walk everywhere. Yeah, it was one of those places, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like one of those like, oh, he lives in the suburbs and everything is like beautiful and amazing. It was kind of like, you know, it had a little bit of raunchiness to it.
Yeah,
there was.
So like every other Puerto Rican in the United States, I was born in the Bronx and then moved out. Right, my parents. I was born in the Bronx. My father was a cop, and he did not want to raise his family in New York City. So he said, let's move to Long Island. So I moved way out, exit 63 on the expressway, if you know Long Island.
Center
moved
Reach.
Way out. Past that.
Past Center Reach. Wow.
Past
That's
Center
pretty
Reach.
far out. My parents are always like, I don't want to raise them in the city to end up bad. I ended up worse in Pennsylvania. And then when I got to the city, I behaved, you know?
Yeah. So tell it, you know, I've heard you talk about it, so I hope you don't mind us going into it. You had a pretty tough upbringing, right?
Yeah.
Before you found martial arts, you know, go ahead and, if you don't mind, talking about it a little bit.
Mine's no, I mean back then it used to be a little harder. I'm going through a lot of phases right now, a lot of changes in my life that is making it be more. I'm more able to express things that happen instead of being embarrassed by it. But no, I had a pretty rough upbringing. I had like a normal upbringing early on, but I was a product of like sexual abuse very early on in my teens. So much, so bad by my father, you know, and I lived in that household, and it was a lot of like, you know, various different types of abuse, like, you know, mental, physical, and then just like kind of being in like a jail cell and having to stay with your captor there. And during the time, you're not really thinking like that. You're kind of like half like in, half out, like, oh, it's normal and it's okay and all these. And it was really rough for me to get out of that. And then I started getting into like, you know, I wouldn't say hardcore drugs, but at the time was like numbing my pain with like marijuana and breaking up the pills and throwing the pills in there. And then, you know, started doing shit that just didn't make sense. And I dropped out of high school, and like it just like it was very, very rough for me. And the pedophilia is not cool. And it's just something that really fucked with my head growing up, especially like the negative talk and all that stuff. It was very rough for me to get out where I was. And, you know, to this day, I'm still I'm still dealing with a lot of those things, you know. As a 33-year-old man, I'm still dealing with a lot of that stuff that happened to me, because it really messed with my head mentally. And to be honest, sometimes I think about where I'm at and like just what I've done in my life, and it's just like unbelievable, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot to get through. You know, yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see you here today, and again, I know that you talk about it a lot, so I appreciate you kind of opening up about that. You know, we have you know, people that watch us. I know for a fact we have kids through adults that listen to the podcast. So you know, a child that might be going through the same thing, hearing this, might see some hope, some light at the end of the tunnel, or.
And that's why it's so important to talk about it, because I think nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
And this is super important when it comes to it's very big in Hispanic families.
Yeah.
This happens a lot, you know, and everybody just throws it under the rug because, you know, the guy is, you know, mafioso, and they embarrassed, you know. I'm still embarrassed, you know, and it's hard to say those things.
Yeah.
And that's just not even the tip of the iceberg. Those are just like overlay. If I was to get like, so an example would be like, oh, like, you know, my father lingering over my bedroom while he's drunk, while I'm sleeping, waiting for me. You know what I mean? Like that's some crazy shit, you know? Wow. So it's important to try to help people who are in there, because there's people who are in that position, and let them know that not only that they can get out of it, that they should say something, but they can also still live their life and try to come back from that. You know, no matter how hard it is, you know, we don't want to commit suicide, and we want to get through that, and we want to go forward, no matter how rough the trauma is, you know?
Wow. Well, I'm going to say two things. Number one, I'm going to make sure that we put up a child abuse hotline, like a 1-800 number. When we air this, like, you know, we're not airing live right now. We record. We'll put this out next week. So it'll usually air Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. So we're going to make sure that we cut that into the episode and put that there. The second thing I was going to say was, you know, again, I applaud you and guys like Tom DeBlas, who I've just recently seen him really posting about it, that he experienced, you know, trauma when he was a child as well, which I was very surprised about. Number one, I mean, I guess you're surprised whenever you hear it. But, you know, somebody, I guess, in our world, that high profile coming out, it was great to see, but it's also, you know, very shocking. So,
yeah, because sometimes you don't know what people's going through, you know? It's very, very rough to see people go through some stuff and have to hold that in. I held that in for years. I only came out that like later on when I was like a black belt into like my 30s, you know, and recently, you know, as I dive in and keep going and handling my issues, it's just so bad, you know, like the things that were so insane, it's kind of like inhumane, and it's rough because family wants to coddle that. They want to not have their reputation messed up, and they want to be like, oh, you know, my son was a good person and this and this. And you could say all these things, but like, we have to break the cycle, and we got to call it what it is. And that's just what it is, man. Like, listen, it's rough. And I feel for anybody who's been through anything like that. And it's been rough growing up with that stuff. And it's important to go through it. And hopefully I make something later on where I can like really describe it in depthly, that I can, you know, really help somebody, which is something I plan to do, you know, but that stuff happens way too much. And especially with men, it's not just women, you know, it's with men, with kids, with boys, you know, or whatever you want to call anyone these days. Right. But it's just important that nothing should never happen to a child, period. Yeah. You know what I mean? Do you have, now you're a coach. Do you teach kids? Do you do I don't teach kids. I have taught kids.
Okay.
I just don't have the time to invest the same way I have in adults. Yeah. But eventually, you know, have a kids program. But I've taught kids, you know, like it's not an issue.
And I asked that question to ask, you know, have you ever had anybody come to you or open up to you about it now that they've heard your story?
I've had people at tournaments come up to me and tell me, hey, look, you know, I know it's hard to bring that out. It really helps me. And I don't know how many people are listening, but it helps me. And I get a lot of messages about it. Some people, you know, the thing is about me and how I present myself is like, I present myself probably a little bit more realistic than I should, you know, like people don't, you know, like I'm just real about what I've been through. It's like I'm dark and gloomy and I have a, light to me, but like I've seen some really, really fucked up things. And so for me, life, I see life a little bit different, than a lot of other people. And that's not a bad thing or a good thing. Just sometimes people think it's dark and gloomy, but for the people who've been through it, they know it's not like that. They know just me, just like sharing those experiences, and it's pretty dark experiences.
Have you used that as fuel in your jiu-jitsu? Like I've talked about how on the, very small amount of competitions that I've done, that I've got to think that that person across the mat is going to hurt me or my family. And I go onto that mat, like in kill mode. Again, I've done a handful of tournaments, but have you used that as fuel?
I think I used it as fuel growing up. I mean, it's easy to tap into that because that's so embedded in my soul, like that shit's like, when I say like people have things in their heart, but like that's in my soul. Like there's a lot of damage in my soul. So I say that because it's deeper than that, but for sure, I think that because of those things, I can dig a lot deeper than a lot of other people. Like I can go through things and still get up because of those things. It's not necessarily a good thing in the sense that like I went through it, but it's not a bad thing in the sense that like, I know I've been through a lot worse. And so it makes me get up. Plus it also reminds me, where I came from, what I got through and remembering like, do I want to ever go back to that place of where I was, and that's a big fuel to use. Now it's important to not dig too hard into it because that fuel can be burnt out really quick. And so I'm doing a thing right now where I'm letting myself rock and feeding off of energies, whether they're good or bad, but not letting it burn out. And if it burns out, and it's a type of, you think about those things, you get angry and then you burn out really fast. Like if you don't sub the dude, if you don't do it, you burn out fast. You need to have like that constant, like steadiness of that energy and then like, control it. If we can control it, we can let it loose a little bit, but we can't let it overtake everything. Because if I think about everything I've ever been through, I'll just go wild, So there's no reason to go there because wild isn't good either.
Okay. So competition wise, what's on the schedule for you now coming up?
Right now I'm in a gi phase right now. So I got, I'm not in a gi phase. I've always been training the gi, but I'm back to gi competition.
Okay.
Like I'm back to like, I say that because people have said that like, oh, you're just a Nogi guy, but that's not true. I've trained in the gi and fought in the gi and competed in the gi since way more than I ever have Nogi. I just decided during COVID to really invest in my Nogi career. And that's just the way it goes. And it pays. It's different, Yeah. But I'm back to feeling really great about my jiu-jitsu, more than I ever have. And so I've been competing in the gi and I've been doing very well. And so I'm going to do the Lancer Open and then I'm going to do Worlds. And then I'm just waiting for a high profile Nogi fight in my division.
Yeah. So with the gi itself, when you coach, is it all gi or do you coach no gi and gi classes? You just doing everything.
I teach 2 days of gi and 2 days of no gi. I make all my gi students do no-gi, and I make all my no-gi students do gi.
No choice.
No choice. You have to do it. We're not going to be one of those people that decide that our tire is going to decide. And then people could have different preferences, but listen, at the end of the day, it's a skeletal structure, the way I look at it, and not much changes. There's little things change, but most of it stays the same, the core of it. And you got to be able to come in and out the gi. So you throw the gi on, let's go. You take it off, let's go. You do heel hooks, cool. You do no heel hooks, okay. So it's not it's not a big thing for me.
Yeah. So I asked that question about the gi and the no gi to ask about, again, I've heard you talk about this a little bit, and I think a lot of people that maybe have watched you recently will call you like a leg guy. I know I started training at 41. I'm on my 8th year of training. We didn't even start touching legs till like last year, right? Like right before my brown belt. And it wasn't because I got to brown belt. It was because the tournament systems changed. Not only IBJJF, but like the local tournaments that were coming to town. It was like, you could do anything. It was like, there was no waiting to brown belt for heel hook. It's like open for everybody, like blue and above. So what are your thoughts on kind of that traditional part where, people used to wait? do we still wait? Do you still wait to a certain point, or is it like gloves are off?
Okay, so we don't wait. Okay, but like if I'm introducing a student, okay, we got to look at it. All right, so one, I consider myself a leg lock expert, 100%. Okay. I've been taught under Murilo Santana and Eddie Cummings. I've tested myself against every single leg locker. At this stage, nobody's leg locked me in a long time. And if they have, I was still learning at that point. At this point, I'm an expert in that. But that's the thing. I'm not only a leg guy. Mm-hmm. So people who think that are like, they got something else coming. I'm a very versatile athlete. Like I work everything, stand up, passing, guard work, leg attacks, arm locks, everything you can imagine. So you just happen to see that in the competition, right? But that doesn't, trust me, it's not even like that. But let them keep thinking that. That's good. Because
let me say this, like, because you were actually, like I said, you're a leg guy. You're known as a leg guy. You used to be like known as a triangle guy, right? Like, so it's kind of like whatever you're doing at that moment.
I used to be like a head and arm guy, triangle, and then I used to be just a passer, pressure passer.
Okay.
And then I used to, he has a great guard, and then but I'm not gonna toot my own horn. I'm pretty good at all the
toot away, brother. Toot away.
I train all the time to do everything, gi and no gi. So it doesn't matter. This is why I love the gi, because it takes away the heel hooks, and then I'm like, okay, cool. It's so much more positionally sound. The reason why I'm so good at certain things is because I came up with not just sub only and not just positional jiu-jitsu. I'm a hybrid of both. So I know every hole you have if you're an IBJJF guy, and I know every hole you have if you're a sub only guy, which makes me more deadlier to anyone that goes in both realms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to answer your question, listen, heel hooks are amazing, leg locks are good, and they need to be learned at white belt level, 100%.
Okay.
But not the beginning of white belt level. Knowing how to defend and how to have certain positional awareness is more important than leg entanglements. When you know positional jiu-jitsu, you will be able to apply leg entanglements more appropriately. When you're able to pass a guard, you will be able to expose their limbs and make it more, open to catch a submission through a leg entanglement. Now, we don't want to just learn leg locks and just fall apart and okay, you can't get a leg lock, that's it. Leg locking is a beauty and it's an art, but it's an extension of passing and doing all the other regular basic jiu-jitsu. Now, passing guard is extremely artful. It's an art. You do know how much effort it takes to pass somebody's guard that is clean with their guard retention and at a high level. It's very beautiful. You have to pass like 20 layers to get through it. Now, your passing ability will expose that to get the leg entanglement. So I firmly believe everyone should learn it. I teach all my students leg entanglements. But if they come in a fresh white belt, even 3-4 months in, I want them to focus on single leg X, passing the guard, basic guard retention, basic escapes, basic submissions that are applied before I start saying, hey, just do an ankle lock. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's my philosophy on it. But I don't look at it as a separate thing. It's connected. So I won't ever teach it like, it's its own thing. It's a connection of positions. That's pretty much all it is to me.
So now your instructionals, where do you still have a couple coming? Are you still filming? I know you have a 4-episode deal.
Week. I have 2 that didn't come out yet, and then I've actually filmed in 2 weeks.
How do you typically come up with, right? Your BJJ fanatics, like they want you to come up with your own ideas. For yours, are you just kind of continuing from previous, like moving on in like a system?
No, I had an idea for the first 2 sets that I wanted to do. It was like my creative leg entanglements. I did that, and then I did my passing instructions, which I love. There's a lot of high level stuff on there that if you watch it, I don't think anyone really instructs it the way I do. And what I talk about, I think works. And it's tested at the highest level. So in all competitions, so I don't really have to like justify it. But I just don't think anybody's coming out with them the way I am. But I do make them all, and I make it with the person in mind. So I did the Nogi Fundamentals for people who are just a little bit more beginner and they wanted a little bit more of a blueprint for how to dive into jiu-jitsu the way I would kind of teach you. And then that's kind of just like a blueprint, and that's like 3 volumes. And then I had the leg entanglements, which was, I did a bunch. I did a lot from falling from the top. I did 1 double pull. So you had options from double pull. And then I did one that was my pretty, people don't know, but the last one that came out is the precision leg entanglements. That one is, that's all my bread and butter stuff that I do.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get that one, they missed out, because that one is the one that I do all from the bottom. And then we did we had the Z-lock, and then we had, I just did 2 more, which is like how to knee cut, little blueprint, and how to do my versatile Hiva, little blueprint. So I'm doing little blueprints right now, instead of doing like these encyclopedias that like nobody watches. It takes hours to digest.
12-hour instructional.
Yeah, I thought about it, and when I watch instructionals, I will watch an 8-hour instructional, but it always takes me at least a month.
Yeah, you're not sitting there watching like the whole thing.
No, because the way I take knowledge is I study, and then I go troubleshoot, and then I see how it's applied to my style, my body, how everything works at a high level. I practice on blue belts, purples first, and then I go to my other teammates that are amazing, and then I try it on them. If it can't work against the high level guys, it doesn't work. So it's a process. So that's why it takes me much longer to go. And then I make my own system out of it. I studied Gordon Ryan heavily and made a lot of systems out of it that were required for my body type. And so when I thought about how I would make an instructional, I want it to be something that people can intake, but they don't feel like I'm talking too much, and then they get the move down. And the main thing is that you can apply right away. And so that's super important to me. And I'm super self-conscious about my instructionals, just because I know they're all work and I know they're all good, but I'm just a perfectionist. So like during filming, I'll literally get anxiety, like probably the whole session till it's over.
Nothing wrong with that.
Did I do it right? Are they going to love it? Did it come out good? All this stuff. And I'm like freaking out. And then I actually watch it and I get a lot of good feedback from it. So I'm just trying to get better at it every time.
Yeah, funny enough, even though, I won't compare myself to you by any means, but anytime I've walked out of here and I've said, Bo or Miguel, like, it's like, yeah, I don't know how I felt on that podcast. And it'll be like the most downloaded, the most watched. It came out great. We're cutting snippets. It was just like we get the best feedback when we're overthinking it or when I'm overthinking it. So I get that feeling again on a different level, but I understand that.
Speaking of which,
it's just anything.
That's Miguel.
Anything.
You saw how I tried to do that, like me and Miguel.
What's it called? Anytime I do an instructional, I'm just making sure. I'm like, man, did I do that good? Did I do that okay? The
you
main
do everything
thing is
okay.
that. What he said?
I said you do everything okay.
I mean, I like to. No, I mean sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I'm pretty good at what I do, but I'm just obsessive, bro. I'm just obsessed.
Hypercritical.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But listen, you got to remember, like, I'm putting my name on it, right?
Yeah.
So if it's associated with me and I get somebody to be like, oh shit, this shit don't work, like I don't want to be one of those instructionals. Like, oh man, this guy teaches and he's teaching dumb shit. Let me tell you, there's 90%, 95% of the shit you watch on Reels and Instagram is bullshit.
I know. I've tried them on people. I've done it. I've sat in the car and I downloaded it and I'm sitting in the car watching it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do this shit. It's not like I'm trying to do it against like a brown belt or a purple belt. I'm like trying to do it to like a guy I know I could trick him.
The guy on his one free week.
It doesn't even work. I tried on free trial class guy.
That shit.
And it doesn't work.
That
I'm like,
is,
garbage.
That shit is something that you look at and I'm laughing. I'm laughing.
Yeah. I'm starting, the filter's starting to get better.
I don't put that type of content out. I don't like to discourage people from like throwing shit, but like, come on, man. Man, I watched some other move the other day and I was just like, well, what the fuck? Like,
I sent them one the other day of this dude, the wrist locking guy. He was just like, he slowly slapped his face.
Yeah, that
and
was
then
like a whole different discipline, right?
Still.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to, like, that's not going to work.
I look at that stuff. What I like, you talked before about, well, let me say it this way. Like, I'll watch the same video over and over. I don't watch a lot of videos. I watch the same ones over and over until I feel like I have that thing down. I am like a bucket that's full of water. And if you put one more thing in, something else has got to come out, right? Like my brain works like that. So if I'm putting something, I've got to reinforce it and reinforce it and reinforce it. And then I've got to practice it and see the opportunities when I can use it. And then I feel comfortable with it. And then I'll try to find something else. I still do that I've been trying to perfect the north-south choke since I was like a white belt. When I saw that, I laid on a guy's face at a competition and he tapped and everybody called it a north-south. So I Googled it. And I was like, that's not north-south. I was literally, my gut was on his face and he tapped. It was a white belt to white belt. And then I found, he tapped because he didn't know what was going on. My fat belly was on his face. But then I found, the videos and I just have watched the same things, found Marcelo Garcia, bought his instructional, but I've just found the same videos and watched them. And I'll see the littlest tiny detail and go, man, I'm not doing that. Shit, let me do, and then I work that in. But I don't like to do like a wide variety of learning or watching a video. Like I want to focus on one thing till I feel like I have it.
I could see that.
Yeah, I feel like I want to perfect. I want to perfect what if I'm gonna do it. I want to perfect it. I want to be good at it. But I go to train, and my coach is teaching me lots of different things. But then when I'm rolling, I'm like, okay, I'm going to use that, but I'm also going to try to perfect that thing that I know that I'm working on.
I like doing, I'm sorry to cut you off, Miguel.
Oh, no.
I like doing like, I like subjects. So like a mount, and then I'm trying to troubleshoot my mount and then studying a bunch of stuff. But I actually can intake knowledge like very fast. And I'm very obsessive to the core of the move, the skeletal structure, how the tension needs to be. Just when I do this, does it need to relax on this? Does it need to go on this angle? Do I need to be clean here? Am I being lazy on this point? I'm just so obsessive about everything at this point. So like if I study and I get it, most of the time I can apply it like almost instantly. But if I can't get it, I just obsess on it. And then I go back and try to study my ass off. And so I'm right now I'm in knowledge mode. So I'm taking so much knowledge from the up and comers and like the blues, purples, and taking a lot of knowledge from like a lot of the people out there competing and just applying my own style to it. And it's a lot of fun. It just takes time, but it's a lot of fun.
My school, we used to train together. We don't train in the same school anymore, but our professor, he started to he would do 1 week of the same move. And now he does 1 month because he realized, I think that he realized, I haven't spoken to him about this, is that, I'm coming 2 or 3 days a week and then I'm doing an open mat on the weekend. I'm not getting enough. A guy like me isn't getting enough. He's doing it the whole month now. We had Jason Costa on and he trains with you up at
Addison, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Right? Yeah. He's in Grand Rapids right now.
He talked about when he trained in, I think, Brazil, it was like 6 months of the same move or the same takedown. Like I that's the way I like to learn. I want to kill it till I know it, Go ahead.
Yeah. No, well, just to add to what you were saying, what his professor does, Felipe, is that let's say he does a whole month of mount. The first week will be mount as the aggressor. The second week would be mount as the person on the bottom and how to get out. Then the third week would be attacks to the counters from the guy on the bottom. And then the fourth week would be like a culmination of everything you learned and with implementation of the person on the bottom defending the attacks from the counter from the bottom, from the top.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
But we didn't always train like that.
No,
it was very obvious when he changed to that. Yeah. And I think a lot of us, especially the more experienced guys there, were like, I like this. This is what I need. Because I felt like I was missing. Look, I'm gonna be there 2 or 3 days a week. I run a business. I'm doing the podcast. Like I'm not a 6 day a week guy anymore. Yeah. That works great for me. I love that system.
I'm not sure. Like I've always had like this mentality that like when I found Felipe's gym, I was like, this is where I'm going to get my black belt, you know?
Yeah.
And then I just went through like this weird roller coaster where like I had a good buying opportunity for a house. It was far away. I tried making it work. I got children and they were going, and Felipe has a phenomenal kids program, bar none, one of the best that I've ever seen. And, And then my wife was just like, this drive is just too much. And, the car's a lease, so we can't put miles on it. So it's like we found another great school and it was close to the house. And then that ended up just like going tits
We won't go down that road.
Yeah, I don't want to go down that road. And then I found another great school. There's no shortages of great schools.
In South Florida. Yeah, we're down in, and, he's down at like Henzo, outside of Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. So now I'm training at Henzo's in Weston with Coach Adrian. Cool. Yeah, he's super cool. I really like that school a lot. And but what I'm trying to get to is that one core value that I've seen from instructors and even the people who work with the instructors is exactly what you just said. It's like I don't care about the move. I care about the concept and the mechanics. And what you said was in the troubleshooting. So it's like if you teach me an armbar, great. You taught me that like, okay, Jujikatami, I have to ensure that like in order to manipulate one joint, other joints have to be stabilized.
Yes.
Right? Like so that's like that's how they teach you. They're not going like, oh, do this and do this. If he's like, no, you have to, I don't know where you're gonna be when you land it.
100%. I don't like teaching like that. I'm gonna tell you why this needs to happen. Or if I explain it, I'll tell you why. The biggest thing is this, is that, okay, this is what happens. There's skeletal structure is the skeletal structure, right? So like certain blocking of certain joints at a certain time for certain pressures are going to stop you. It doesn't matter. Now, there is 95% of the people are going to be able to defend all the same way. That period. There's only going to be like 5% give and take depending on the body type you are, the flexibility you are, and just some people can do weird fucking things.
Yep.
So
that
that's
double
the
jointed guy.
Yeah, man. That's the 5%. So, but for 95%, you're going to be able to stop them if you know what's going on. It doesn't really matter about your belt rank, man. It just matters about those little things. Okay. Oh, and it matters about your life experience and bitterness, because I can draw from bitterness more than you can. So I'm good there. But for the most part, that's what we're looking at. Like I'm looking at the structure. In the gi, I'm looking at a skeletal system that just has a little chain attached to it. That's it. So everything's the same, but for certain things, because of the chain, instead of me posting on your shoulder blade, I grip that collar and I push or pull into the shoulder blade. So that's essentially what it is. But when I pull you to me to you, right? If I push, I'm using full extension where I'm contracted the whole time. And I'm not just talking about their contraction or what mechanic you need for them. I'm talking about how your body needs to be during the whole move. Right. So it's a lot of stuff I've dove into. I went down a rabbit hole and I haven't left since. And so that's the way I'm looking at jiu-jitsu and teaching it. And it's been more effective for all my students.
Is that what you just explained there? Is that something that you learned from other instructors or that you sought out that kind of information on your own?
I was already down this rabbit hole. My professor Murilo is amazing at it. I think he does a lot. He doesn't explain it the way I explain it, but he does a lot of it. When he breaks down the move, it's just insane. He's doing it for a long time. He's a legend. But I also study, and I like studying Gordon Ryan, which is people may not study him because of his, however he talks, but his skills are his skills.
It's undeniable.
For sure.
The only problem I have with the instruction is not the instruction, is that he's a big player. I'm a very small player. The people I fight have incredible guards, flexibility, and speed, where in his division, he doesn't need to be faster than them. He can slow it down and do it. Now, if I take that concept along with my professor's concepts and then mix them together and see how it works, that's how I develop little things in my style. So I'm very heavy on Gordon Ryan stuff, super heavy, especially Nogi. But I apply a lot of those principles to the gi, which I don't think a lot of gi players do these days. So I feel like I have a little leg on them because I'm relying on things and I know why they're going to work, not just because somebody told me how to do them.
Now, I got something I got to address, because you at the lower weight classes, gi, black belt, top of the food chain level, there's this double guard pulling thing that happens way too much. And I'm talking about competition, especially IBJJF style competition. Please explain to me, because I am beyond dumb, I guess, why there's a double guard pull, homie looks at his watch, points at the table, the clock is ticking. It is very, very easy for one person to just sit up for us, just stand up and get 2 points.
Yes.
I don't is it because they know they're going to get swept?
2 points. They don't get 2 points. They get an advantage.
Oh, you get 2 points if like my butt hits and then your butt hits second and then you get up the second butt. Mm-hmm. And that happens a lot too at the high level.
Yes.
Now, is it because they have a weak stand-up game? Is that what it is? Is that why they stay down?
I think what it is, look, double pull you can look at in my mind as you wrestling. It's essentially the same thing. You're doing wrestling stand-up. Nobody's doing nothing. You're underhooking, your collar tying. They're trying to take shots, but it's nothing really working. That's the same thing on the ground. Trying to get to your leg. I'm trying to essentially get to your hips so I can go upside down and fight. Now, this is something I agree with. I think it's the most stupidest thing in the world. I do not like doing double pull for long. Do I have to do it sometimes? Absolutely. I got to game the system the way they do too. But these days, I'm not so keen to just sit down in front of the person, whether it's gi or no gi. Like, it's super boring. I mean, I could go leg lock for leg lock all day. I can try to go to your back, but it's just one of these things that people want to win, right? And they're taught a structure in which the IBJJF has a rule set. So the 20 seconds of looking at his clock is to make sure that they stand up within 20 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
They get an advantage if they get up. Now, this is the thing. In the lighter weight classes, a black belt, that advantage can make or break you, right? That 2 points or that seated position can make or break you. Right? You may not want to stand up on top of the person just because the dude's good at sweeping. Or maybe you have a sick berimbolo, but you just really do from double pull. And I know people that do double pull all day, drill it all day, and that's what they do. I'm not a fan of that style, but it's a part of the system. Like, I have to practice it all the time because of the lighter weight classes. Like,
I think you missed one scenario. One scenario involving you missed.
Thank you to DD214 Fightwear, gear for patriotic rollers. Visit their website, dd214bjj.com, and get 15% off your online order with code JJD. And check them out on Instagram at dd214_Fightwear. Thank you to Feito IT and AV, specializing in commercial and residential automation, security cameras, CCTV, POS, and more. Check them out at feitoitav.com or call 305-428-2515 and let them know the dummy sent you. Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit neutralzonecbd.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium jiu-jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of jiu-jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at TheBJJBox. All of us here at the Jiu Jitsu Dummies would like to thank the entire crew over at Flow and Roll for their tremendous support. They're renowned for their incredible t-shirt designs, and they've got something for everyone. Flow and Roll quickly rose up to become the premier custom apparel provider for academies, big or small, throughout the United States. Shoot them an email about your custom order, flowandroll@gmail.com, and they'll be more than happy to get you hooked up. Check them out on Instagram at flow_n_roll for samples of their gi and no-gi kits. They conveniently offer flexible payment options too. Head over to flowandroll.com for more details, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu Jitsu Dummies signature tee, now exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your online purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD. Special thanks to George Hernandez, Claims Adjuster. Have you experienced damage in your residential or commercial property in the states of Florida or Texas from flood or fire, storms, theft and vandalism, even sinkholes, just to name a few? Don't get stressed out dealing with your insurance provider. Call George Hernandez today and let the professionals get you the most compensation possible. Visit HernandezClaims.com or call 305-712-6751 to get help now. And stay in touch with them on Instagram at Hernandez Claims.
Your match with Mikey Musumeci on Who's Number One, the dude was forcing it on you. Like it started off as a leg entanglement and it stayed on the ground, but it was because he was trying to force that Mikey lock like the whole time. Am I mixing that?
You mean the not Mikey lock? Yeah, sure.
Whatever. But what I'm saying, that's a scenario too. There's a scenario where the guy doesn't let you stand up either that I've noticed.
There's no Mikey lock. And at that time, he wasn't doing his so-called Mikey lock. The inside heel hook is essentially what it is. No, in that match, we were doing double pull. I got up. I remember getting up.
Yeah, but he kept pulling you down.
Yeah, he kept trying to pull me on top of him.
He was forcing the leg entanglement, like forcing it. The whole match.
I don't know if we watched the same match because we both forced the leg entanglements. We were both going back and forth. He was pulling one, I was pulling the other. He had one entry, I had one entry. It was back and forth. And then I got up and started passing. And then he just started doing K-guard. And from K-guard, he only got one or two entries. He was able to get out. His ankle lock was only a counter to my Z-lock. So I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm saying it's like a third scenario. You were saying like one scenario is like, the guy has a good sweep, so you don't want to stand up. The second scenario was you have a sick berimbolo or you're really good at getting at the hips, so you force the double guard pull. The other one, especially when somebody has good grips or they like you said in the lighter weight divisions, they're for their weight, they're very strong and they're very fast and they're very nimble. I felt like in that match, yes, you both were engaging in the leg entanglement and it was one of those matches that you were talking about, but I feel like the position was forced because to me as a consumer, there was, especially I consume flow grappling quite a bit and there's a narrative that they're running, but I get it because it's a channel. And the narrative was like, oh, Mikey's doing Nogi for the first time in forever. And he's been working on leg locks. And so it's just like, it felt like the narrative was like he had to do leg entanglements when you know that he's known for the bolo, right? And he's known for top pressure. If he falls back to do a straight ankle lock, which he's known very well for. But in this scenario, you're known a lot for, like just being as deadly and quick and as, you strike like a tornado. With the leg entanglement, you finish it quick. And to me, that match, again, I wasn't there and this is your match, so I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying to me as a consumer, it looked like you were trying to do something else. You battled back and forth with the leg entanglement, but it looked like he was like pulling you into the leg thing where the game could have gone up. Like the last 10 seconds of that match was probably the most interesting. Where you both were just going crazy. The last 10
seconds was like a Hail Mary, right? Yeah. So in that match, I get what you're trying to say, like that there's a way where they could pull you on top, they could force some things. The thing was that in that match, I got up because I didn't care to stay double pull too long, right? It didn't bother me. I'm good at leg locks from the top too. So that was my thing. And in that fight, to the consumer, it looks a certain way. But what you didn't see was how many people does Mikey at his weight class fight and does not demolish? Anyone. And he just demolishes them all the time. Easy, right? Subs them. Yeah. He either fought somebody that didn't know leg locks when he leg locked them. So they're not artists in that part of it.
Yep.
Okay. And then if they knew leg locks, he was more positionally sound with them. Okay. So they didn't understand the back takes and the bolos and all the ankle locks and stuff like this. For everything that I threw at Mikey, he defended, but everything he threw at me, I defended as well.
It was a great match.
So in that match, you saw it was a very high level chess match with pawns and all that stuff going on. In that match, I shut him down every which way. He couldn't catch my heel. It was hard to put some offense on him as well because he's really good. But I never felt in danger. I only got countered with a footlock off of me doing a footlock. So I felt like that match was even, minus the last seconds of the round where I kind of just did Hail Mary and just like, was like, whatever. That match is something that like, yeah, it's kind of like double pull. He was trying to force some leg entanglements that I think what happens is he thought maybe he was going to go into that match and he was just going to fuck me up like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But I am a black belt in Murilo Santana. I come from a school that is known for berimbolos, and I come and learn from the Eddie Cummings. I am fully prepared in every position. I can see when you're going to take my back. I can see when you're going to do a footlock, and I'm calm in the exchanges. And I like to go forward, so you're never going to push me back. So, that's actually one of the better matches, in my opinion, that were a lot fun to watch because it was like, two skilled artists going up there,
That was the scenario I was talking about. It was like a force,
there's a forcing of that, but I don't think in that regard I have to disagree in the sense of he wanted to do something and I was willing to play that game because I wanted to play that game. That didn't bother me, right? Like if you ever have Eddie Cummings on your feet, you'll never cry about anybody else on your feet. Trust me. Okay. Mikey is amazing as an athlete and as an athlete and a competitor. I respect him. Man, I would never underestimate that guy. But I'm fucking amazing. So
yeah,
I know what's up with that match, and I know that was a great match. But there's a reason why that match was way more closer, and I was able to shut things down. You want to take the second to know how much that match, how the breakdown of that match is. Think about how many positions that I shut down that you weren't able. Because in that match, it's like, okay, I shut his thing down. He comes back. He shuts mine down. I shut his. He shuts mine down. He gets a little ahead. I stop him. He gets here. I stop this. He goes for a back take. I do this. He goes here. I never get to let him get my hip line. Honestly, that was a really good match.
That was a really good match.
I fucking love. I got so much better after that match. So I do not regret that match. But I understand what you're trying to say about the forcing it. But again, it's a shitty, dumb rule, and you got to game the system for the IBJJF. It just is what it is until they change that rule where they fucking, you do double pull, nobody gets a fucking advantage for getting up, and you just do 20 seconds and you just get negatives. That's not going to change. And that's essentially what that is. It's a dumb rule, but it's just giving somebody initiative for getting up. But some people don't want to get up. They want to play the footlock game. One example of this is Mikey. He loved, there's one, I think, world championship where he fought Joao and he stood on an ankle lock from double pull for over 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. So, it just depends on the game you're trying to play. I personally, I like to fight, man. I like to go. So I would rather get up and pass because I'm confident in my passing abilities. Cause I don't only drill double pull. I practice everything. So, I'm just a fan of fighting, I want to fight and I want to go. I'm going to be the most technical, precise person to fight, but I want to go, I want to go. I want to walk.
I've seen you on Fight to Win.
Do you want to, not do you want to, I've heard you talk about it. Are you serious about going into MMA? Is that a transition that you really you're going to be making? So
my plan is, or hopefully how it works is I get my titles that I need in jiu-jitsu, which I'm fairly close. I've been so close to getting the ones I want. I'm going to try to get them this year. I have a good shot. I'm the best I've ever been. And I've been working very hard. And my life is actually changing a lot right now for a lot of personal reasons in my life. Just moving, doing a couple things. I've been actually fighting on a stress level that was insane for the last 6 months, which nobody knew. I just kept going out and just doing my thing. But I think I'm finally going to be in a place where I can fight freely and really show myself. Which is way more cooler than anything you see on the stage. It's the way I fight in the gym is just awesome. So I'm trying to show that a little bit more. It just happens to be that I run through the guys sometimes and that the fights don't end up the way I normally roll. I think it's going to be me coming out and just being in a better place coming out to the competitions.
Where do you see yourself? What organization do you think is the best fit for you?
Okay, that's where I lost my frame of thought. Yes, so I want to do grappling for one championship, and then I want to do one championship. I want to fight in one championship. That's the organization I want to fight. The reason why I want to fight in that championship is, one, they treat their fighters a little bit better, I think. Two, they're all my size. You know, like the guys who are actually fighting 135 and 125 are actually my size. They don't cut the same amount of weight that they do in the American events, right? So like UFC, they cut massive amounts of weight. Dude, I don't weigh that much. You know, like me being heavy and fat is like 146. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so like I fight at 135 or 138. So if I needed to drop weights to 25, it'd be even with the other guys. It'd be like 10, 15 pounds. It wouldn't be like some amazing amount of weight. And if I fought at 35, MMA, you probably should cut down to the weight class below. But that's my goal, to do that and win a world title at bantamweight or at flyweight. And then that would be it. And I want to defend it a couple of times and then transition to something else in my life and continue competing and fighting, but I don't know what that is. You know, I could be acting, could be a bunch of things.
Would you go all in and move to Singapore too?
Listen, I would just fly there, fight, and come back, fly. I don't need to be like other people. I'll let him do his thing.
I wasn't even alluding to that. A lot of people, when they get one, they just like go there and they stay there. And I'm like, what's going on?
If they offered me a contract where I was fighting
Mighty Mouse,
it might be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I think I'd fly back and forth until then and see where it goes. But the sky's the limit for that stuff, man. Like, I'm competitive. I'm 33. I'm going to be 34 next January, so next year. But
prime time.
I don't even really think I'm in like close to my prime. Like, I still feel like I'm getting better, training better, doing things better, and I'm only getting better. Every time you see me come out, I feel like I'm super competitive, and I'm falling like this short of those major titles. So, you know, to the point where like I'm barely losing. If I do lose, I think last year, I lost 3 times, right? I think I lost 3 times and I avenged one of those losses. So it was like really only 2 out of like so many matches. So, and this year I've lost 1 match, you know, so, out of I think like 6 or something like that. So like, you know, I'm there, man. I'm still hungry. I want it. And so I think it's going to be good. And then, yeah, we got to look towards the future too. We got to plant seeds. So yeah, 1 championship all the way.
Do you feel like starting with a grappling match is just a good way to like get acclimated, to like just kind of feel them out? Is that more what that's about?
They're definitely going to pay me better. And then getting in the cage and fighting in that thing is also a dream in itself for me. Like, not just any cage, a real organization that it has like, like a lot of like, you know, like giant power, which is awesome. Seeing a different place is awesome. And I'm an athlete, man. I'm in it to, you know, also got to make money, you know, which is not, money doesn't drive me, but I also need to make a living. So, that's what it is. And, hopefully that happens, and I'm working on it. I'm trying to see if doing anything I can do to get a match. Hopefully I can get a fight with a really cool MMA guy like everyone else. So it'd be nice to see myself fight, you know, Demetrius Johnson. You know, that'd be fucking dope.
That'd be super dope.
Wouldn't that be dope? Like, the dude's good in grappling. He jumps around. He's fucking good at takedowns. Man, that'd be a dope fly match, man.
I'd watch that.
I'd watch that. I'd love to grapple a bunch of the flyweights or the bantamweights, you know? So it'd be cool to get MMA fights with someone that's high caliber in MMA, and then show what I'm made of. You know, maybe change my life with a bonus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then,
have you had any talks with anybody there? Is this
not anybody yet? I have some contacts out there that are working on talking to some of the matchmakers and stuff. But you know, it takes time. It's one of those things that I know I'm gonna get it, because I'm like one of those people that's like a gem. I'm out there, my name's known, but people still aren't really kind of giving me my credit where it's due. And so I don't really think there's the same amount of respect on my name as there should be, but that's okay. I can't control that. I'm just gonna come out. I'm gonna fuck everybody up. And that's
hell yeah. That's what I like to hear. Hey, can I also add? And not a lot of people talk about this. It's like everybody talks about, hey man, when I was a kid, I watched kung fu movies. I watch Asian style, you know, like this stuff just gets to you somehow. Do you have any sort of Asian tattoos as well? Like any
Asian?
Yeah, like just Asian inspired, like whether it be like,
I have,
like a wave or anything.
Oh my God. What do I have on me? I have a lot of things on me.
Anything Asian, like Japanese, Chinese, anything from that culture, anywhere on you. Like,
I'm thinking, dude, I have so many things on me.
I got so
I'm
many
trying to think without taking my shirt off.
That's what I was getting to. No, I'm just
yeah, right. Like for the
trying to get them likes.
I have one that means oh my god, man, I even forgot the fucking meaning because I'm fucking tired. You just blew my mind with that.
I'm getting to something.
It means like strong, and I have one. I think I have one here.
Yeah,
there you go.
So
kanji. They call that kanji.
What I'm getting to is, you know what else is fucking cool? Fighting in Asia.
Yeah,
I think that's an underlying
sure. like birthplace of martial arts. If you think about pride, you think about glory, you think about just like green,
everything.
Yeah.
It's like just
Dragons.
I think
people honestly
awesome.
Dragons.
People honestly make fun of me because like I'm a small guy, right? So like I shop at Uniqlo and I'd be like, yeah, you go to Uniqlo because they're Asian. It's made for small people. And I'm like,
is that a shop? I've never heard of that. Yeah. That's a shop in New York?
Yeah, it's like a shop where like it's an Asian store. So like all the sizes are like made for my body. So I'm straight,
They also, I didn't know about this until I had some Asian friends in the military. There's sunglasses for Asians because of their face, like their facial structure. I didn't know about this. This is like a real thing. Yeah,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there's like, it's like you said, just it's not only that, it's like, and it's for other cultures too. It's just like people are built different. So it's like, that's why they say like Asian large is like American small.
Yeah, it's when you get a gi from overseas and it's that A3 is an A1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, I'm a small guy, so that works for me. You know, these A1s be coming from fucking Pakistan, America, and they're like A3s. Insane.
For you, yeah. But you're going to be in heaven over there, man.
Hey, we've got some, I know we said we were going to cut it at an hour, so I got a little speed round that we're going to do. Just so you know, I've seen you in other podcasts, and they do a speed round. They got it from us. They did it after us. Just so you know.
Originals.
Oh, hey, don't forget to take some pictures, bro.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we got a little speed round. So, all right, you can elaborate if you want. We can go as fast as you want. But gi or no gi, what's your preference?
None?
No, there's got to be no. Okay, so I'll lay it out like this. Your favorite training partner says, hey, man, let's go to the gym and train. Are you grabbing your gi or are you grabbing your no gi kit?
Honestly, bro, I wouldn't matter.
Okay, all right.
If you want to say which one I want to make a career out of later on, that's going to like really benefit me, is going to be no gi.
Right.
Okay.
But that's not a thing. It's like, yo, let's do gi or no gi, whatever. Like, it don't bother. Most of the time, if this is longer answer,
go ahead.
I do my sessions and I always do one of the other and end with the other one.
Like, so you're doing in the same training session, you're doing gi and no gi.
So like the last 2 rounds, I won't concentrate. Like if we did a no gi session, I will do the last 2 rounds gi, and that way it's just fucking fun. And then like the other session is all gi, and then there's like last two rounds. All right, let's go no gi. So I never get it in my head that it's a thing.
Okay, gotcha.
That's dope. I like that.
I like that answer. So takedown or pull guard? We talked about pulling guard a lot. Takedown or pull guard?
If it was my old self, I'd probably be like pull guard, but I like to say takedown these days. I've been working really hard on the stand-up, so I'm okay. I'm actually okay standing right now. I've been working so hard on it. You have no idea, man. I fucking mind fucked myself on it. But I'm versed in both. But I'm gonna go with like my savage old self that just does takedowns.
2 points.
2 points.
So now, are you? It's funny to hear him say, "I'm a consumer," meaning I watch jiu-jitsu because I always say that. Are you a consumer of jiu-jitsu? Do you watch? Are you like religiously watching? I know you said you watch tape and stuff, but are you like watching every WNO live? Are you watching every?
No. I'll go for certain matches. Depends on what it is. Most of the time, I pay attention to my weight class, or I'll go back and study my weight class that matches happen. But because I train jiu-jitsu all the time, it's my life. Yeah. Sometimes I try to pull back and not look at it. But if it's amazing fights, I'll do it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a fan of I'm a fan. I'm not really like fans of like in the sense of people, but I enjoy watching certain masters at their art.
Yeah.
You know? So like if I consider myself a master, right? I'm not a grandmaster. I just consider myself a master. Right? I consider the guys that have been in the sport forever grandmasters. And so like, I look at like a guy like my professor, like a grandmaster, you know, somebody I enjoy watching, or somebody else who's been in the scene forever as a grandmaster. And then I love watching the top guys at their art, you know, it's cool.
So who's your favorite competitor to watch? Do you have one?
Tainan is one of my favorites to watch him go. In my weight class, I'm my favorite, but besides that,
Of course. That's how you win.
no, I mean,
One of the last episodes, somebody said Tainan as well.
I like watching Shane Taylor go. I like watching Gary Tonin for sure. I love watching. I like watching the Rotolo brothers. That they're really awesome.
Golly, how good are those kids?
There's a couple guys that I enjoy watching, but I just really try to focus on what I'm doing and just studying from afar. But I like watching Lucas Pinheiro. He's amazing. They got some other guys coming. I like watching my teammate Diego Pato. He's amazing. I like watching Maisa. She's my teammate, but I watch her shit religiously. Like she's really good.
We're on like a Unity Jiu-Jitsu run. We had we had Tex Johnson on, then Jadeson, and now you. Yeah. Not by design, by any means. It just happened that way.
I'm looking.
I mean, those are all good choices.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I've always been in love with you. Like, I can't wait to we're going to get Levi one of these days. I'm putting it out in the universe.
Yeah.
Because that kid,
I'm sure you'll have fun with that one. He's way cooler than me.
Bro, you're cool too, bro. Don't be modest. You just said you were your favorite person to watch.
I am my favorite person, but that doesn't mean I'm not other people's favorite person.
Yeah.
All right. So next question is, what is your ultimate goal in the world of jiu-jitsu?
Nogi champion, 1 major gi title, 80cc champion, and winning, establishing myself as one of the biggest threats at 135. That's pretty much where it is, right? I'm not one of those guys that, I want to win titles and I want to like maybe win them twice, but I'm not one of those guys that want to win 16 titles or 6 titles, you know? There's certain things I want to do, and if I get to do them again, that's awesome. But
I feel like he stole my list. That's my same list.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
At 135, that's like your left leg.
At 250,
I knocked one of those out my list. I got the Fight to Win title, and I defended it 4 times. So that one's really good. I'm looking to defend it a 5th, which would be my ultimate go for the Fight to Win.
You run through those, man.
I've been medalist on Nogi Worlds 2 times consecutive. So I want all the Nogi titles, and I want 1 major gi title, whether it's Pans or Worlds or whatever it is.
How about opening a gym? I think I've heard you talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah.
Is that something?
Opening the gym is going to be something later on, but I want to do that, and doing that is going to take away from me right now. And so I have to be really selfish right now and just really focus on my career. So I'm looking probably like the next 2-3 years focusing on me, but we'll be planting seeds for like the following to end those 2 or 3 years to start opening my gym, or even maybe opening it and running it, but still having my somebody else run some of the training sessions so that I can focus on me. I love teaching, bar none. I love teaching, and it makes me a better competitor, but I also just got to do for me right now. So that's what I'm focused on.
I like that.
Now, if you could go back in time and talk to yourself for the very first time you ever stepped on the mat, what advice would you give yourself?
Calm down, don't rush. And I'd say study tape a lot earlier. Pay attention to the skills and concepts and the structure versus just doing moves that people taught you. I wasted a lot of time training very, very, very hard. And training hard and being gritty is easy. That's easy. Studying, learning the body, learning what's going on, why it's happening, what needs to happen. That's a lot harder. And I learned and redid my whole brain on jiu-jitsu at black belt. So whatever you've seen before and you thought like, hey, maybe he's amazing. For me, I was shit. It was nothing. It was horrible. It was disgusting. Now, black belt, I'm paying attention a lot, and I'm making sure that I don't make those mistakes. If I could have went back, I would have been more successful in the earlier belts, even more successful. Not just, I would have been something else different than I am now. But it's okay because I'm here now, and I'm what I am now.
That's a constant theme. My only question on that was, when you say watch tape, do you mean tape on others or tape on yourself?
No, tape on others, like any tape he was. The only problem is back then it was different, right? Like, so
it was real tapes.
You didn't have the DJ Fanatics the way you had.
Yeah.
You didn't have, you didn't have any of that stuff. You didn't have YouTube the way it was. The information wasn't there the same, so it is a little different. But I would say still try to pay attention to that. Now these days, everyone's spoiled. Everyone has everything at their fingertips, has the best competitors in the room. All the people who made the mistakes are teaching them. So I always tell my students, like, like I'm showing you a blueprint, things you don't have to figure out. Like I've had to figure this out. So being able to hold not only my own and be one of the best in the world at my level right now, or in the top black belts where they consider you a name, is crazy, because there's like fucking 17-year-olds I'm fighting. And to be able to hang with these people, you got to know what the fuck you're doing, because otherwise they eat you alive,
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets as it relates to your jiu-jitsu journey?
Maybe I regretted just not enjoying life a little bit more. I just had tunnel vision and didn't really give myself time to enjoy a lot of things in life that I deserve to enjoy. And I'm still working very, very, very hard and always busy, but I'm learning how to enjoy the little things a little bit more and relax a little bit more and give back to myself. Because I think I just didn't think I deserved it because of the way I grew up, and I just had to work hard, and I was trying to survive, and I was trying to do a dream and everything. But now I'm still chasing the dream, but I'm trying to be more kind to myself. So I'd say be more kind to myself,
Okay.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah. I've talked about that a little bit as it relates to doing a podcast. Like, who the fuck do you think you are inviting these famous jiu-jitsu people on?
Yeah.
And like when the podcast took off for us, it was just like, holy shit, people are actually listening to us.
Whoops,
and you kind of go through that of like,
really?
Do I deserve this? Why me? Like kind of that feeling.
Yeah,
I just try not to think about it. And like, we're not even like
Miguel is the most famous TikTok jiu-jitsu co-host without a TikTok page.
I don't have a TikTok.
He gets his video snippets get the most views, and he doesn't want anything to do with TikTok.
I can't add anything else to my life, bro.
All right.
I can't.
All right, I've got two more questions for you. The second to last is best cookie joint in New York City.
Cooking joint?
Cookie joint.
I am a wait. Let me just say this. I'm a cookie expert in every state.
And that's why I'm asking.
I would have to say, the bar none, if we're just judging the chocolate chip cookies, which is the one you have to judge, it'll be Culture Espresso. Culture cookie in New York is the best tasting, fucking amazing cookie. And it's everything you want. It's a perfect size. It's not too thick. It's not too little. The chocolate chip is sweet, but the texture is dry in the middle and dry on the outside a little bit, just enough, and then really smooth in the middle. Listen,
the way you closed your eyes and talked about that is almost the same way you talk about your jiu-jitsu.
Hey, don't open up a gym. Open up a bakery, bro. I'm there.
I love bro. Let me tell you,
sell cookies out of your gym.
I love fucking cookies, bro. Everywhere, like protein cookies, everything you can imagine. I've tasted it. Every time I go to a state, different country, the first thing I do after competition is get cookies. Yeah. And I try different spots. I don't try just one spot.
Cookies.
Yeah. So when you go to England, make sure you know they're called biscuits. That's what they call cookies. Yeah, that's what they call cookies over there.
That's okay. I'd be like, can I have a biscuit?
Yeah.
So I'm going to let Miguel ask the very last question.
It's a very, very important question, sir.
This is the most important and serious question that you'll answer today.
Do you or do you not wash your jiu-jitsu belt?
Oh, I do not.
Pero why?
Dun, dun, dun.
I do not wash my jiu-jitsu belt. No, I do not.
I've heard this. I've heard the answer. Again, I'll just say we were the first to do the speed round at the end of the episode. So I've heard you do another speed round. I won't tell you who. Love him, had him on. But tell everybody what happened with your belt, with your black belt. I know. I heard the story.
Oh man,
about the little bleach on the tip.
Yeah. So I had gotten my promoted black belt, right, and it was really, really, really long, right. So I put it in the wash one time, fresh, before I wore it down, and a small amount of bleach was in there, and there was a little bit of brown on my fucking black belt. And I fucking colored it in with a fucking marker to make sure it was good. But it was okay because it was only a little bit. But after that, I never washed it again. Never. And actually, this is a story for you to learn, okay? Because I'm going to tell you, I was with my students, and my belt has been, I wore the one I'm promoted with when I train, always. And I ripped it up pretty bad. And I decided that I would let my students play tug of war with their belts. And I put my fucking black belt in there thinking like it wouldn't be a thing. And it fucking ripped. And I freaked out. And I was telling myself, it's fine. To my students, it's fine. It's my fault. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God.
I was dying inside.
Destroyed my belt. But I went and got it taken straight to the shop, had that shit redone, sewn back up together, never wore it again, but kept it. It survived and it's good. I just will not wear it to training. But my professor, was very upset, but he's getting me another one that is made the same. But that way, my original belt is still intact, but I'll never wear the one I'm promoted with, my name on it, the Unity style in the room.
All right, that's a good reason to why you don't wash your belt. We'll give him. Dude, we're gonna give him that one. Go ahead.
We need to add a new question. When you die, will you be buried with your jiu-jitsu belt?
Duh.
Hey, say that again.
When you die, will you be buried with your jiu-jitsu belt?
I mean, I hope so.
I'm going to be buried in my gi.
I hope so. I would hope you put my finest gi in like fucking one medal or something. Otherwise, what the fuck's it for?
And don't put me in a new gi. I want my oldest, my favorite, dirtiest gi. Some blood stains. Like, don't clean it, nothing.
Listen, I'll tell you this much. This is why it's important. I grew up and I never really achieved anything in my life besides what I got now, which is a lot now. But I'm high school dropout, abused, stereotypical Hispanic, came from nothing, shit family, everything. The only certificate that I have that I absolutely adore is my certificate of being a black belt on the Murilo Santana, because that is like the same thing as your master's degree under whatever school that is the most highest level you can do. So not only am I a black belt, I'm a black belt on the Murilo Santana. So that certificate that says that to me is the most amazing thing to me in the world. That's more than any medal you can give me. If I had to choose between that certificate and the world title, I'm going to choose the certificate.
I love that answer. And I love your professor or your grandmaster. I really do. He's my grandmaster. He's the master above masters. No, that guy, his voice, like if I'm watching a match, like an IBJJF match, and he's like 2 or 3 mats down, I'm like, I immediately, like, that guy's like my spirit animal. Like, I just hear him. Dude, that guy's great.
He has a loud voice.
Like, not only that, but from what I hear, I don't know the guy, but from what I hear from people who have talked about him, is that he's like also just like a genuinely good human being.
He's a great human being.
Yeah.
He's probably helped everyone's favorite jiu-jitsu star who doesn't give him any credit. He's probably helped them. I know so many people who everything they show is all him, and how they got good, how they train with us, but they never.
He's a black belt for 20 years now, right?
Oh yeah, he's long time. Wow. He showed me. He's people who work hard, and then there's the person who can show me that I can go harder. I work a lot harder than a lot of people all day, and I'm honest with that. I outwork a lot of people. I train more than a lot of people all day, every day. Probably more than your favorite black belt, but he'll make me look like nothing. He'll just be like, you can work harder.
I love it.
With that being said, do you have anybody you want to shout out? Do you have any sponsors? Anybody you want to say hello to?
Yeah. Let me shout out my protein cookie sponsor.
Of course. Let's go.
Okay? Yeah. So the protein bakery, which they make real cookies. Like, they're not fucking processed. It's real food. And it tastes like really fucking good, bro.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
It's amazing. Protein bakery up in New York on our West 19th Street. My gear, Cruise Combat, and the Virus International, they gave me the flyest Nogi gear. Cruise giving me the custom one. And my gi, Yoten, they hooked me up for like, I don't know how long, for like 6 years. those are like the best sponsors. I only support people, the brands I really care about. So if you like them, you can always go check out my IG page. My IG page has my link. My link leads you to everything related to me. I also want to state here that I have a YouTube page that gives you free instructionals. You can subscribe to it. They teach the same way I do in my instructionals. They funnel in some of the criteria for the instructionals and some out of it, but it's only launched recently. And
we're going to put a link in there. We'll put a link in the description on both the audio and the video.
Yeah, and subscribe. You're going to get really good content for free. And if you like it, maybe you can spend $35 on an instructional.
All right, cool.
That's great.
Well, hey. Junny, again, listen, don't hang up. I'm going to say goodbye to you. Don't hang up, though, for us. Wait around for a second. But we appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. Love to do it again. I know we had a little time crunch there, and some people weren't here. But we appreciate it. We'd love to do it again one day. And if you're ever in South Florida, hit us up. We love having guests come in as well. So hang on again a second. But thank you very much for being with us today.
Okay.
Thank you
guys. Thank you, everyone.
I wish you nothing but success, sir.
Thank you to Neutral Zone CBD, a combat family-owned company that supports athletes and the people who love them. Neutral Zone strives to deliver clean CBD products for sports recovery in gummies, lotions, balms, roll-ons, and more. After a competition, a hard rolling session, or a tough day on the job, Neutral Zone has a product designed to help you reduce inflammation, increase cell rejuvenation, and may even help with aging joints. Visit NeutralZoneCBD.com and get 25% off your order with code JJD. And follow them on Instagram too, at MyNeutralZone. Jiu Jitsu's favorite monthly subscription box has now joined the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. The BJJ box is delivered to your door filled with premium Jiu Jitsu and grappling apparel, equipment, supplements, supplies, snacks, and more. The crew at the BJJ box find the best in the world of Jiu Jitsu and guarantee every box to be worth more than the cost. Each box includes 4 to 7 items you're going to love. Visit thebjjbox.com and use code JJD10 to get $10 off your very first box. And give them a follow on Instagram at thebjjbox. All of us here at the Jiu Jitsu Dummies would like to thank the entire crew over at Flow and Roll for their tremendous support. They're renowned for their incredible t-shirt designs, and they've got something for everyone. Flow and Roll quickly rose up to become the premier custom apparel provider for academies, big or small, throughout the United States. Shoot them an email about your custom order, flowandroll@gmail.com, and they'll be more than happy to get you hooked up. Check them out on Instagram at flow_n_roll for samples of their gi and no-gi kits. They conveniently offer flexible payment options, too. Head over to flowandroll.com for more details, and while you're there, pick up a Jiu Jitsu Dummies signature tee, now exclusively at flowandroll.com. And remember, you'll get 20% off your online purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD. Special thanks to George Hernandez, Claims Adjuster. Have you experienced damage in your residential or commercial property in the states of Florida or Texas from flood or fire, storms, theft and vandalism, even sinkholes, just to name a few? Don't get stressed out dealing with your insurance provider. Call George Hernandez today and let the professionals get you the most compensation possible. Visit HernandezClaims.com or call 305-712-6751 to get help now. And stay in touch with them on Instagram at HernandezClaims.
All right, guys, that was awesome, man. Interesting dude.
Yeah.
I hope you don't run into him.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way.
So I think, is it okay if we say this on air? I think you made it sound like the match was being dictated
by one person.
By Mikey.
That's not what I meant.
That's how it sounded. At least that's what I was picking up. It's like you're telling him, like,
2 people.
Hey, you know that awesome match that you had?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was totally dictated by the other guy. Like, he did great, but he completely.
Yeah.
I don't think that he saw it like that. I don't think that I saw it like that. I think, you got the Mikey fans that might say something like that, but I think
you need to have a fly swatter over there.
We might have to do a watch that match and then.
I know that match.
I know, but great. Apparently, according to him, you don't.
We weren't watching the same one.
I'm saying we watch it and then comment on it. He didn't watch it. Show it.
That's bullshit. He didn't watch it. He was in it.
I'm sure that he's watched it. He watched it.
Yeah. No, that's definitely not how I meant it. But
so say sorry to the guy.
I already did.
I'm just kidding. I'm just no, he's a big boy.
Jeez.
Apology,
He's a big boy.
Does he want a cookie or something?
Yeah.
JK, bro. Love it, man.
Thank you very much for coming on, Junny. We appreciate you. Let's do a little housekeeping here real quick. Shout out to our Patreon podcast patrons. This is the very last time we're doing this. I've shut down the Patreon page.
I heard.
So we're going to shout out to our, I'm not going to say who, but one of these is now a client of Black Belt Digital Marketing.
Really?
Yeah. So Carlson Gracie Winter Haven in Winter Haven, Florida, cgwinterhaven.com, at Carlson Gracie _Winter Haven on Instagram. Thank you so much for all your support over the last few years. Carlson Gracie, Broward County in North Lauderdale, CarlsonGracieBrowardCounty.com, and at Carlson Gracie, Broward County. Let me just say, I want to shout out, I'll give an extra shout out to Roberto Santiago, who's been a patron. He's actually, and this is no disrespect to the gyms themselves, but Roberto has been the one who has paid for those shout outs. So isn't that awesome? Like, he's a student of both of those places. He's the one that asked me to do that, and we worked it out, whatever. And
really,
he's the one that's paid for that the entire time.
That's dope.
You know, and look, I love all those guys. I'm not saying like they didn't do it. I'm just saying it was a student.
You're saying who did
that did it for the gym, and that was awesome. I've never said that before, but I appreciate all of Roberto's support, and he's just an awesome guy. Awesome guy, and you know, hopefully.
Are we talking about the same person?
Roberto Santiago.
Yeah,
he trains with Big J and at John's at John Wayne. Yeah.
I was thinking. You know who else I was thinking about?
No,
too?
I do not know.
The guy who trains at John Wayne. I know. I'm
gonna kill you.
I know. I think
you're having your own inside joke.
I'm not. I got to meet him. I got to meet him at the gym. Actually.
Okay. Oh yeah, you did. You did meet him. Okay. Yeah. So did I finish? Carlson Gracie, Broward County in North Lauderdale. Carlson Gracie, BrowardCounty.com, at Carlson Gracie, Broward County on Instagram. John Way Martial Arts in Plantation, Florida. JohnWayMartialArts.com, at John Way Martial Arts. You know what? Let me say one other thing before, because I'm just like, hey, the student paid for it. Both John Way and Big J have both donated to the show privately through our GoFundMe.
That's dope.
So we were giving them the shout out. They gave money. Their student gave money. I appreciate the support. We're not shutting down the Patreon because there's a problem. We're shutting down the Patreon because we're going to do something better, and just it's going to evolve
better for the show. Yeah.
It's going to be better for the show and better for the listeners, and just done in another way. You know, you're not going to have to pay for. We're going to do like paid shout outs for the gym, but we're doing other things like hey, if you buy, like I want them to think about the sponsors. Right. Don't send us go shop at our sponsors. I want it to be more about that and the giveaway.
Dude, can I say something about John Way? Like I've maybe talked to him like maybe once or twice or whatever. And I visited the gym, but I follow him, on Instagram. That guy is like, he has a personal page and he has his public page. Yeah. And I'm consider myself lucky to see his personal page. And that guy is always on the move, always celebrating something, always encouraging others. Like, I feel like I've learned something from following his personal page.
Did you see? And I want to make sure
He's teaching me about like stuff that I don't even want to know that I want to know about.
So, I think it was yesterday. The city of Plantation.
Oh, the city hall
Florida.
Thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've officially, because he's been in Plantation for operating his gym in one place or another in Plantation, Florida for 25 years. They declared, I believe it's April 27th. Okay. Is John Way Day. Is it not John Way? It's like John Way Martial Arts Day.
It should have just ended at John Way. It would have been way better.
I'm sorry I didn't have something better prepared to give him that shout out, but I believe it's like John Way Martial Arts Day. But what an awesome...
Dude, the guy is always... Yeah. It's like...
He owns a marketing company as well? I believe he still runs that marketing company.
I remember I was here for the interview. Like, and it's beyond that. It's like, if you like see how he interacts like with the community and like with his family.
Got fighters... The fighting bouts.
Things.
He's got John Way Martial Arts
and multiple disciplines.
The marketing company.
He's still working on himself. Just got his black belt.
Just got his black belt.
You know what I'm saying? Like the dude does not stop.
Awesome guy.
Yeah.
Happy to shout him out. So some of our individual sponsors, and again, this is the last time we're shouting them out, but thank you to Matt Murphy, who is like one of our brand new sponsors, like brand new
he got in
patron.
at the-
He just got in at the end. So thank you, Matt. But we're going to do some other cool stuff. BOA Athletics, who's been like with us from like almost the beginning. So underscore or on IG at BOA_athletics. Jason Smiley, CJ Carroll, who always asks us to shout out Mission 22. So I said, I'll do both.
Yeah.
And I shouted him out along with Mission 22.
Good follow.
Again, Chuck Reddor and Roberto Santiago. Thank you, Roberto, for all the support. Again, we're not going anywhere. Nothing's wrong. We're just going another route with that specific part of how we do things.
Please hold.
All right. So at Jiu Jitsu Dummies on Instagram for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. I'm Uncle Milty BJJ on IG. I got something to say.
Did you get some? Because I only got one.
Hold on. Okay, no. I'm not going to even talk about that yet.
Okay.
So my daughter, she sent me a video of our like puppy that passed away last year playing with our cat. We were having like
Your puppy?
we were having a little argument about it, and she sent me a video of an old video of our puppy playing with this kitten that we found at the time. And I remember I was like, I don't remember if I just started my IG with Uncle Milty BJJ. It was like Uncle_Milty_73. Because it was in the she put me in the text of the post.
So you're guilty.
And when she sent it to me, I'm like, oh, that was my handle. That was my handle. So I didn't start it with Uncle Milty BJJ, but I know once you
got that one stripe.
I honestly don't even think I waited for the one stripe. I think once I was like, I was addicted day one. I knew like
nothing wrong with that.
I went in there going, I want to do this. Like I wanted to do jiu-jitsu so bad.
You did it.
And I did it, and there you go. So I found it. But Miguel, what's your handle?
It's JJD_DJJ.
You really don't like saying the at either, right? Like, you don't feel like this.
I feel like that's like why you.
It's a given.
Wait,
it's a given. It's a given that it's the at.
It is a given.
It's a given.
I feel
that
like you're
is
like ooga, gotta say the at. Like you're like a caveman or something, bro. Like
not everybody.
You say IG.
No, not everyone's at your level.
You say IG. Do you type in the at when you're searching in the search, or do you just type the name?
I type
you don't type the at, bro. It's not even on the. It's not even on the thing. You gotta switch. You gotta switch the
I type
keyboard.
like at.
It's not there.
Because you could do at or the hashtag. I don't know. I do at.
I just type.
No, I don't know what to do.
I just type.
So I stepped on you saying it. So what is it?
It's okay. What do you mean? I already said it.
Yeah, but I completely talked over you.
JJD_DJJ_69.
Is it _69?
No.
Oh, 69.
No underscore.
Oh.
You don't even know your own freaking handle? Say the fucking at. You wouldn't have forgotten.
No, that's not it. I'm adding things.
Don't say the at. Don't say the at. Don't say the at.
No, that isn't it.
JJD_DJJ69.
I feel like we're promoting the thing you don't want to promote
yeah, wait.
more. So I only got one. I only got one suggestion.
Yeah, which was what?
I don't remember.
No.
But it's from a person who's like we're always commenting.
Yeah.
On stuff, and he's active on our page all the time. And
so what we're talking about is I wanted you to change your handle to something more podcast specific because it is just your IG for the podcast. You have your own personal.
I do.
And I was
No, you make a valid point. It's just I feel like I only got one suggestion, so maybe I'll give it another episode. See if other people want to.
We'll see. Yeah.
If not, I might
message him with suggestions for a new IG handle. And you were going to give away a swag bag, like
the regular swag bag plus a leg locker, short sleeve,
hash guard,
or long sleeve hash guard, whatever you want. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming today. Appreciate it. We missed you.
Yeah, I missed you guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had some quality family time though.
Okay.
I needed it.
Good for you, brother.
Yep.
Well, you wouldn't miss us if you didn't miss the exit.
I didn't miss the exit. I tried getting 20% off my drive by screaming JJD at all the dumb people.
And your oil pan just broke off.
No.
Bo, give me your handle.
At BADWERKS.
Bad works.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. It's like I look down and go, do I need to really read the thank you?
Thank you for watching.
I think I can probably remember that part. And the fact that mid-sentence, I went to go look up and go, I don't need to read that. And I guess I do.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. Thank you for all your support. Peace, love, jiu-jitsu.
Peace, love, jiu-jitsu.